The topic is constructors. First of all, I will explain what is the need of constructors. Then I'll explain what are constructors. Then different type of constructors we will see. See, already we have seen an example program in data hiding. In data hiding, I have taken this example of a rectangle class. And here I was creating object in the main method and I was setting its length and breadth. Now using that same example, I will continue my argument why we need constructor. See here, I have created an object. R is a reference, right? And then object is created. When you say new, object is created. Then this is length and this is breadth. Right? These are the two properties of that rectangle. These two will be created once you create an object. So here the object is created, new, and here the object is created. And these values will be initially zeros only. Then later on I am changing its length and breadth. So afterwards I am making it 10 and 5. This is what happening. Now the argument is, when I created a rectangle, that time only it should have 10 and 5. Why it's not having 10 and 5 that time only? I have to set it afterwards. See, I have already related this rectangle class with a car and television, right? So car will have one property like color. So when I buy a car, will it not have any color? Zero. When I buy a car, will it not have any fuel in the fuel tank? Some fuel will be there, some color will be there, interior color will be there. These are all properties. Properties will already have some value. Then why they have just 0, 0? When I buy a car, I can mention which color car I want, right? I can mention few things when I buy a car. And similarly, when I buy a television, I can mention few things, few properties I can mention. Same way, we want to mention length and breadth when we are creating a rectangle. So imagine that creation of a rectangle object is just like buying a rectangle. So I want to mention length and breadth at the time of creation itself. So I will mention 10 and 5 here. So it should set this as length and breadth. So this should not be 0 initially. This should be 10 and 5. This is what I want. This is the requirement. I don't have to set it afterwards. So when I create an object, that time only those properties should be set, like how it happens in other engineerings. So here also I want length and breadth should be set when I am creating an object, means construction of an object. So that's it. We want some method which should initialize the properties at the time of construction of an object. So yes, that method is called as constructor. Now I'll explain what is a constructor. Define a constructor. Constructor is a method of a class which is automatically called whenever an object is created. Whenever we create an object, automatically constructor is called. It means when I was creating an object without this, then who was called? There was constructor called. So I did not write any constructor. No, every class will have some default constructor provided by Java compiler. If you don't write also, default constructor will be there. So one important thing we learn, that is default constructor. Every class in Java will have some default constructor. If you define your own, then your own constructor is taken, default one is removed. So in the class rectangle, already we have seen it before. There we did not write any constructor. So yes, it was having default constructor. Now, how to write our own constructor? So let us write a constructor which takes this length and breadth and initialize it. So here I will write on the constructor, then I will explain you. Yeah, here I have two constructors. This is one constructor and this is another one. So let us understand what is a constructor. Constructor will have the name same as class name. So constructor is a method which will have same name as class name. Then a method must have return type, right? But a constructor will not have any return type. It will not have return type. Don't even write void. Okay. So it will not have any return type. The next thing, public. So usually we make the constructors as public. Even we can make them as a private also, right? If you want, you can make them as private. So later on we will see what private constructors are useful, how they are useful. So basically constructors are made as public. Then this constructor is not taking any arguments and it is setting length and breadth as 1. So let us see this. When I create the object without passing any parameter, then what will be the length and breadth values? These will be 1, 1. Which constructor is called? No parameters are passed, so this constructor will be called. Both are initialized to 1. So this constructor is not taking any parameters. And if I call area, instead of this, if I say system.out.println area, then what area will print? That is 1 into 1 as a result is 1. So it will print the area as 1. Yes, the output will be 1. Now, as I said that, I want to pass the arguments. Then I am passing 2 arguments. So for 2 arguments, I have written one more constructor. Public rectangle, which is having the same class name, right? Same name as class name, and taking 2 arguments, setting length as L and breadth as 5. So when I pass 10, 5, now when I create the object, this will be 10 and 5. And when I call area, the result will be 10 into 5, that is 50. So this is parameterized constructor. So once again I repeat, constructor is a method of a class which is called automatically whenever you are creating an object. And by default, there will be one constructor provided by compiler. If you want, you can define your own constructors. When you define your own constructor, it must have same name as class name. It should not have any return type. Constructors are usually declared as public, even you can make them as private. That's all. Now the last thing. There are 2 types of constructors you can write. I said I will explain type of constructor. So there are 2 types of constructors you can write. One is non-parameterized constructor, which is not taking any parameters or arguments. Second one is parameterized constructor. Parameterized constructor. So a constructor can be without parameters also, with parameters also. If it is without parameters, it will be the replacement of default constructor, right? Like I am not passing anything, I am creating an object. So if I don't write any constructor also, Java provides a constructor, default constructor. And now I have written this one, so my own constructor will be called, that is non-parameterized. So non-parameterized is a replacement for default constructor, right? And even you can write on parameterized constructor. So finally I can say that constructors can be overloaded. You can write on as many constructors as you want. You already know method overloading, same way constructor overloading. So there should be a difference in the parameter because the names will be same, parameter list must be different. And remember, there is no return type of constructor. So that's all about constructors.